Alright, so I'm going to go over Optic, Texas, and Atlanta Faze map 2 now. Went over map 1. I noticed the last couple of videos I have were only 720p. That's because I stream on Twitch in 936p. Because it looks sharper than it would in 1080. So, I've just done that because I have you can only run 6K bitrate, and at my old house I couldn't. But this one should be fixed. It should be 1080. It should be a lot crispier. It's really annoying going back and forth, but I think I found a way to just keep it the way it is. I'm going to turn it down. We should be loading in here shortly. So, Protocol SnD is I think both these teams are very good at it, but I think it's also a map that any team can win. So yeah, this is common. You always send a guy, even if you're playing like dubs, like in twos, you send a guy down low and you just shoulder the initial hit, so you know if somebody's faceting through boat. That was a very common strat early on. There's really no way to counter it. You can't stun the guy like in there and trap him. He can always just get back up. And once you're spotted down low, your only option is to fill P2, hold, turn around in bottom. So, like, this guy's presence is kind of essential to giving your team peace of mind. So they double nade the staircase here, knowing that nobody hit up. This is one of the things that SnD is, like, very focused around, is just your coordinated nades, because everyone runs flak in this game, as in most games. And especially round 1, there's no trophies. You also saw that Optic lost, I don't think it was this map, or this series, but off a double nade down low. Just coordinating your nades early on, like on the entry routes, on the standard routes, you're bound to get multiple nade kills a game just off breakoffs. And even if it hits a trophy, that's info. There's a guy there. So Optic are trapped outside of A. It becomes a very difficult break, especially man down. If you're man up, it's actually very hard to hold, but it's very easy for Faze in this situation to kind of push out good at timing if they needed to, but they're man up, so they don't.
So it's going to be how to Optic deal with it. We're going to talk about that a lot probably in this.
Tell him spots. He's going to back up and force anyone to chow him to overextend into his teammates' lines of sight. So he's going to catch it. Going to be a weird timing there too. Like, perfect opportunity to kind of assist there, but
it's not a good time. Not usually like the greatest stats now.
We'll see if there's any coordinated nades here. It looks like number 5 pushed up to throw a nade, maybe top here.
And also props to his team, right? They put him in a position to plant it, but
the Faze are going to get in. Huke is here. He's throwing the shoulders this time. He spots the player early. His first instinct should be to get back up, maybe throw a nade. But it would be a waste of util. So he spots one, backs up. He's going to throw that util. Yeah, that's not really necessary. You might as well just stood down there and fucking continued to shoulder if you wanted info on a guy getting close.
Push it up.
Now, is it Beezy through? Yeah, is it Beezy through? He might be through top mid. And you see number 3, Mercules, he's just kind of lurking.
And I just want to say that what Huke did is, like, minor. It's not a big deal. But it shows that Optic don't really have a lot of prep. Because that's, like, a very standard thing. You have your guy bottom zip shouldering. But then he goes up and he throws a stun in a situation where it wasn't really necessary in the first place. Why would you waste your util there instead of just staying down there and throwing a couple more shoulders? I mean, it shows a lack of prep to me. Like, there's a script in SnD of how you're supposed to play rounds. So Faze is going to catch one, and they're going to have info on Huke low. Simp's going to get spotted out there. That was very interesting how that collapsed. Because Simp never really got spotted. Huke slips after being spotted. But who's this? Immediate turn out of... Oh, Shotzi goes down top on sidewalk here when they're collapsing. So then now you have top grandma on top blue here. They don't see anyone mid, and Draza jumps out and then spots Merc mid.
to beam.
Simps their top, and then somebody immediately turns around and checks grandma, because that's the only thing they can really look at there. The guy Helly has your whole back.
Yeah, I think he just has to snap onto the second.
Yep.
It's kind of the only angle that you have to worry about.
A little bit faster.
A little bit faster, he might get two. But
Or if Hook's slower, that bomb would have been down mid-gun.
100%.
Probably round.
Didn't see the first pick from Hercules, but giving him numbers early with a win over Cell. We'll track the first bloods as we continue on. But yeah, now how to Optic deal with what Faze like to do offensively. There's a lot of different ways they like to work their way towards A, but it seems like A usually the end result.
Yeah, I mean,
I feel like the gap between rounds is so big. When you're not watching the kill cam, it feels so long. Why does sometimes these controllers randomly show up?
And go. Well, all of Optic are gonna. Well, a couple are gonna drop Spiral. Well, they're gonna go.
Nabizi's just gonna run in it. Yeah.
When he wins these gunfights, that
You'd be shocked how many times people run in here and just get twos just because of how like the angles line up. You have to play passive from inside the A site here, so there's only really one angle to play.
The hammer at A. 4 versus 2. Plant is in. Shotzi lurking though. We'll see if he can catch.
This is your best bet, is to already have a guy cross inside, but nobody's throwing their life here. The only way to get any sort of advantage on this is to maybe have this guy out here spotted by, say, a guy close computers. The guy close computers isn't going to want to throw his life probably. Shotzi jumps up on the computer. I think you need like the auto mantle not to get the pull up animation that shouldn't exist. And Shotzi probably has that on, so. But no, he's going to catch a timing there. They're actually going to make it a 2v2. So watch it. Let's break down how that happened. So Shotzi being close here is what allowed him to hit that gap faster than Faze expected would be possible. So number 6 is going to go down. Hercules gets a kill on who? Hercules also just walks in for free and kills the guy chasing Shotzi. So Merc gets traded by Simp, who is somewhere on site, just gets traded here. Very losable by Cell. Yeah, no, you would never expect Cell to play that angle. You would never expect Cell to play that angle. Did Shotzi even get stunned there? No. So Cell just knows Shotzi's going to reload, regen. He's not going to chow that long angle immediately because he doesn't have the ability to finesse or do anything. He can't really like cross here into the site. If he was full health and Cell was all the way back zip, he could just cross in there into the site, and Cell wouldn't be able to kill him in time. But in the situation that he's weak, Cell knows that he's not going to re-peek. He's going to have to regen. Cell takes the space. And yeah, you just don't expect that angle. You don't expect an AR to push up on you in computers like that, but...
Gets the angle, Cell wins it, but my God, Shotzi and Hercules nearly bring that back.
I don't know how that stunt doesn't hit Cell. That would have given him the info. I don't know if it goes.
It was behind the computer, yeah.
Pushes on up because he knows how weak he is. Yeah, it's just behind towards the bomb.
I was literally about to say brilliant stunt, and then just didn't hit.
Yeah, he's thinking if that is like maybe towards the middle. But Abizi here's the opening too. He's got teammates firing behind him. And
Huke, I think panic melee'd. I think he melee'd. Yeah, he did. I couldn't quite tell, but yeah. Merc seems to know. So Optic gonna start this round, just heavy drop down. I like this play. Just take bottom control early. Play through bottom, bro. Get really good at playing fucking bottom.
To apply early pressure here at A.
Once you do that, it's easy. You have a simple go-to strat that you can just kind of play straight up against any team. It's not very easy to counter, no matter what, as long as you have a trophy. You saw that last round when Optic played 2 Spiral, and yeah, it's just completely blew up in their face. But it is finicky. So yeah, that's big. BZ tries to dive down. I think that is some sort of tech where you dive into the wall, and then when you hit the wall in front of you, your gun pops up, and so you're a smaller target while dropping. And if you center right, it's probably a pretty easy kill.
Did he dive? Okay, yeah.
Bomb site wide open, and they take advantage. Yeah, we'll see
did he dive? Okay, yeah, he like dove.
He dove, yeah.
Prone.
His centering was also perfect. He didn't even get an opportunity really to get a fucking bullet off, though. It's just not a favorable gunfight, obviously.
2-2 now.
Shit map design, but here we are.
Both teams now is going to be working to figure out their retakes or defenses over at A.
Abizi gonna smash through middle. This is kind of somewhat standard. Your ammo's gonna be open early for a little bit. You're gonna be able to get behind this gun before they break these doors down. This guy can get out the door, or most of the time you have players shoot the bottom doors open, and they'll watch the mid cut, or they'll watch this kind of camera, but it's not favorable because if they slide in, they have a huge advantage on you in that gunfight. But you can also get out if you want, and try and open up ammo, or just get behind the gun and cut mid. It's up to you. There's a million things you can do. Mid is super open on this map. Accidental dive there, nice. Gonna spot Dashy cross, and he's just gonna get that info and leave. Abizi and Simp are gonna play in the back. They're gonna assume, since they showed no bodies whatsoever on A, they're going to assume that Optic are going to send somebody to check B. They know nobody can check B because they've cleared heli. They're in the back, and yeah, the only place Optic can really check is from the sidewalk here, and that's no one would ever fucking check from sidewalk. I mean,
No, so
right?
they're waiting on a rewrap, but Optic's not gonna go. They might just
Optic just playing stagnant in their positions, waiting for Faze to make the play. Another high, like not even high level, just like a baseline thing you do in SnD is to know that when you have your setup, you just need to stop and wait for the other team to make a move. Because if you're constantly go, always trying to fucking find holes and get picks and make plays, then the other team can just kind of post up, play standard, play solid, and they're gonna catch you. So yeah, that's one of the, I think, Shotzzy's weaknesses in respawn, but one of his strengths in S&D is finding those holes. But there are times where that's just not a good idea, like right now. And you see he's just sitting there, he's just holding down their top grandma, doing exactly what a sub should be doing. Now you have Hute kind of filling, making a play here. Optic getting a little antsy there, assuming that B is where Faze are going. Oh, yeah, they're not assuming. The bomb is fucking planted. My bad. That would explain the turn. So now we're going to see how Faze kind of play this out. Abizi gets a brutal timing here, but he's actually in the most fucking degenerate off angle. I love this shit. I'm trying to think of how he could play this better. I mean, I think you're too close to the door to be able to prone, because if somebody slides out the door and clears a sidewalk here, you don't have the ability to kind of catch aim assist, finesse, or force them to miss. And they're probably going to catch aim assist on you. Maybe prone, like... yo, maybe actually you prone close on this door to where your feet and your body are going to be like slightly behind this staircase here, and you look to the left a little bit on the staircase, because your body in this game, you like turn your body position while you're prone will always remain somewhat the same. It's a good angle. He just got caught. I mean, what are you gonna do? I think that might be a Lay G spot. Lay G definitely is making the same exact analysis on that. He's like, I would have prone you. Okay, so you have 4. It's going to be another drop down, it looks like. Triple drop. 1 top. Top's getting info. Top spot's 1. He's going to know that they're going to have man advantage. He'll probably end up dropping. No. He's going to leave their grandma, watch their fast tower OE here. So this is going to be Dashy set up to collapse on boat, I think. Faze are all playing together, though. I think they might all just flood this site faster than Dashy can make a play. He's playing too passive, I think. He's kind of playing island in a situation I don't think is necessary. Oh. Yeah, and that car is going to be annoying as can be, and yeah. That car is just going to waste time. You just sit that car in that corner and you 3P the fucking site. You know when they're behind computer, you can comment for your team. Third person streaks, I think, should just be auto-banned in every COD ever made, but, you know, they aren't, so here we are. I think RCs are dumb, though. I played enough BO3 to just learn to hate RCs and the 3Ps. Yeah, so it kind of collapses. Just the main thing that happened right there is that the RC fucked everything up. I mean, that's kind of it. Like an RC in a corner, you can't really ignore it because it'll one-shot you through flak. Or maybe on this patch they're playing it can. I think in modern or the almost current patch, the one that just ended, I think it actually didn't one-shot through flak anymore. But it can be super annoying, especially for info. You got to get rid of it. You can't slide on it to get rid of it. So, yeah, unfortunate. So, yeah, as soon as that happens, I think Draws jumps up on the computer as Shotzi's looking at the car. Merc's not in a position to do anything about it. Huke's not in a position to do anything about it. And Dashy's way out of position. So does Dash even collapse in time to catch anyone? No. He doesn't even get there in time to catch anybody. So, yeah, so Dashy's got to do something different right there, in my opinion. I don't know if this was just based off of Faze's tendency to break through boat or something like that, and Dashy was trying to hard counter it, and he was just a little late. I mean, this is one of the best SnD players of all time. This is kind of like a simple breakoff strat. You're not supposed to go 3 dead, I suppose. I think without that car, he probably does end up getting here in time, and it works out beautifully, but, yeah. Do not overestimate your advantage on that computer heady. The 99% of rounds where you're man up in like a 1vx situation and you have that bomb planted, if you're going to lose, it's going to be because you get ripped off the computer. It's not that hard of a gunfight. Unless you like snake it.
You have to look at it, try to blow it up. It's also getting info. 3P around the.
But that's for the ranked degenerates. That's for the cult havocs out there. Be stare glitching one way and smokes if he could. Probably is doing that in Warzone now. 4-man drop. So once again, just heavy drop, and now you have 3 Optic players here. Draws is basically going to collateral one. Who's that going to be last up? Dashy. Shotzi's also here, though, so the hard counter is in. Optic are all there. Faze are just going to fucking stand there like rocks. Simp's immediately going to go back up and make sure nobody gets in their grandma fast so he can secure a rotation out of sight for his teammates, which is a good play. But now that has made it a 2v2 on site because they didn't realize, I don't believe, until like right now, that Shotzi was also committed and all 4 Optic players were hard countering. So now all Faze are just going to go up. We're going to say, okay, you're both bottom. You got to run up spiral. You got to come up here. You got to go through boat. And we're going to beat you to B-bomb. Good luck. Dashy's immediately going to try and get top, but he's not going to be able to isolate that gunfight. I feel like you have to keep Cell kind of pinched in there. You have to do something about Cell right there. That's kind of your win condition, I think. Dashy's just got to take that gunfight. I think he's playing a little passive. There's some godlike headies that you can play off of on here, but you know Celium's tweaking about his pinch here. He's tweaking about Shotzi. And plus you're Dashy. You shoot straighter than anyone in the world, pretty much. So, I mean, if anyone's going to win that gunfight, if he, in that worst case scenario where he takes the Godhead glitch, it's going to be you. Then again, it is Cell. He's probably not losing it, but, or throwing his life at least.
You don't say.
Yeah, he's going to just play his life. But nice little rotation here out of Faze.
This little angle down here is pretty godlike, but it does open up timings to your right.
What do you do?
I'm not even sure if it happens right here. I remember Shotzi, I think, or somebody jumps up to Cell's right, and Cell doesn't see him because his FOV is too small or something. But it's not the first time I've seen this. I've seen this numerous times. People that play this spot. It's like a high FOV spot, I guess. Yeah, it is. It literally happens. Okay, yeah, that's the round I'm thinking about in this case. But there's other examples. It's actually more common. I just want to say, once you get bombed down on that site, as long as the guy heli, there is some RNG involved if you're playing heli, but as long as that guy doesn't throw his life, the round's pretty much impossible if there's a second player running around. So Optic now going to drop down every round. They're just fucking dropping. Faze are already collapsing just like Optic were last round. Abizi should be dead here, though. So Optic with the first blood, but Simp just going to turn and get 2. Nobody is watching Spiral. Is Simp even weak? Is he gonna flip the Simp here? Is he gonna flip the Simp the Pimp? He's in the corner now. Cell's gonna pick up the outer. I think the Faze players, they throw kind of a, he throws a passive nade off rip. Shotzi's already pushed up by the time that Simp or anyone on Faze peeks the spiral doorway. I think Faze just didn't show themselves spiral until Optic were in the site, assuming Optic were gonna go there. Because obviously Faze's strategy revolves around Optic just fast hitting bottom. So the two Faze players don't show themselves. They play for the timing where the subs or the two fast players for Optic would be pushed up on computers. And then Simp just throws a Semtex in the middle of the room without ever really exposing himself to anything. And then they collapse. And then, yeah, they're just not ready. And then Cell actually gets two there as well. So the two players in Spiral here just take out all of Optic based off a nade. Your other teammates obviously showing themselves boat, but primarily based off a nade, and then just not showing themselves early, kind of late hitting Spiral. That's kind of a better, I mean, that's a better way to play it than just insta-challing it. Because another standard strategy is getting Spiral control early and just banging straight through, like a BZ did that one round. And since the Optic had all peaked the angles, Faze knew they were there already. Whereas in that situation, the two Faze players, they'll catch a guy early, or they're going to be able to do something like that. Much more effective. Better way to play that. Late hits are good. Denying the other team info for a second or two, especially during breakoffs, can make a world of difference. Simp's going to go bottom, and he's going to shoulder. Faze are going to fill through boat, assuming that Optic are going to do the same kind of hard counter drop strat that's been going so well for Faze. Dashy playing the back, playing that anchor position. He's going to be able to get a freebie. This is sometimes like situations where you see ARs, or especially main ARs, not really getting a lot of kills. The reason why is because you have to have somebody playing like this. And sometimes Faze will never do, they'll never throw their life like Draws did kind of right there, where they're just not ready for it. They won't make those mistakes. Whereas in this case, they did, and Dashy gets a freebie. Some teams are more confident in their play calls, and they'll make more mistakes like that. Other teams play a lot more passive, and they don't. And the main AR kind of suffers. At least in the engagements. So yeah, BZ's dead.
They're not able to
like this. Get back on offense. They get back on offense. A slow build-up.
So I think Optic have one guy in the middle of, or I'm sorry, Faze have one guy just already taking A control here by his lonesome. Optic are stacked in Grandma's here. And they're starting to branch out on the map. See, you see how Optic are kind of in this setup? They're waiting for a Faze player to make a mistake, and Faze are all just in their setups. Their arrows are all just looking forward. This guy's looking at the top left mid cross kind of. He doesn't have to worry about anything else because number 5 has his low heli and his sidewalk push. So number 8 just needs to make sure nobody gets in his low door, nobody hits through this weird part top mid. He can also provide support for number 6 top here. So that way number 6 only really has to worry about well, I guess you have to worry about your ammo fill here and the chow out, but he primarily needs to worry about his boat. And then number 7 is just watching boat as well. So I guess 6 doesn't really have to worry about boat at all because you have Simp down there.
Well, that's all it took last round. Well, really, it's just him. So it's just all down to him. Everybody else is playing for info. And
Simp's kind of in that off angle. Abizi gets picked on the long angle to Mercules, who does indeed chow from exactly the opening. Where? Oh, he just chows as soon as number 8 gives it up. And then Merc just gets in that position. It was literally just blessed timing. As soon as Cell gave it up, he hit it.
Did an 8 hit? I have no idea what just happened. I'm assuming he's weak from an 8.
Yeah, it must have been an 8. Because that look, yeah, look, he got 2 bulleted. excel 1 versus 3. Otherwise, we're going to a round 11.
Round 11, it looks like. There's no way to 1v3 against a good team. You can have aimbot, and you're not going to be able to 1v3 against a good team here.
Hook's waiting for him, and Hook is putting him down. Round 11 time. 4 points separate him in the hard point. One final. I don't know what happened.
We're going round 11.
The pressure building, the venue sweating.
And yeah, you see the coordinated nade. If one player on Faze is throwing a nade, 2 players are throwing a nade. They're throwing the nade on the boat hit. Optic are filling it. Dashy's doing the same exact play where he's watching to kind of play off a mistake that Faze may make. Yeah, and this is the map I was talking about. They get double naded off the intro. You're just if you throw your double nades on your boat routes, your deep what's it called here? Your deep sidewalk. And that's kind of it for Faze's side here. You can throw them like at the double doors, but probably not super effective. You could throw them on the back part like where Dashy's playing as well, but you would have to like fill through tower. It'd be a little weird. Yeah, and saying Ubeasy, of course it's Ubeasy. Well, obviously it was a double nade. I mean, just as much credit goes to his teammate. Ubeasy gonna get the kill as well. He's gonna push through Spiral, like I said earlier, and get that kill. Optic are both in Spiral. This would be a great. Yeah, I think that's Merc just isn't quite there yet. He's gonna drop down. And once again, there's just no way to 1v3 here. You gotta play for someone to throw their life. I think he actually had an opportunity because I think Cell slid directly into draw, so fucked up his movement. I think there was an opportunity to get a freebie, but I mean that.
Can't get in with the utility trophy. Gonna do it.
Draw's gonna spot. It's just too much. Yeah, so I mean, excellent play out of both teams right there. A lot of like drop hits. Some mix-up rounds a little bit, but yeah, Faze just kind of outplayed Optic. I feel like they just know what to do better. That from the late hit stairs to the situation where it looked like Hugh kind of didn't know what to do after he didn't get info early, kind of wastes his tack. I don't like it out of Optic as much as I like it for Faze. Call me glazing, but I mean that's just how I feel. So I'll go to the control because I think I won't say who I think wins the control because I don't remember, but I'll go over it because these are 2 very good control teams.